Tonight on Customs.
Quick look at your passport then, please.
A woman flying in from the Caribbean is a known drug trafficker.
A long time ago.
Right.
But this time she claims to be on the straight and narrow.
I used to do all that crap on the straight, that's why I've got a different life now.
Right.
This woman's arrived in the UK carrying just $60. What's more, her holiday plans in London sound a bit sus.
So what will you do while you're here, do you know? Is there anything you particularly want to see?
The Eiffel Tower.
The Eiffel Tower.
And Diesel the sniffer dog thinks he's onto a big find. But after all the excitement, it's only a vacuum cleaner. Or is it?
We've also been notified there have been other seizures in other areas, other countries of a similar type.
In Australia, goods coming from overseas come in by plane or ship. But in Europe, it's hundreds of thousands of trucks which move products from country to country. It's impossible to thoroughly check every single truck, but random searches and good hunches sometimes strike lucky.
The port of Dover on the southeast coast of England is just 30 kilometres from Calais in France, the gateway into Europe. Over 6,000 semi-trailers cross the English Channel every day, and with 18 million passengers making the journey each year, it is the busiest stretch of water in the world. But not all of the passengers crossing the Channel are welcome. Round the clock, the UK Border Agency has a presence at the port of Calais in France.
Good boy. Up here, mate, up here. Good boy, in this one.
With the aid of highly trained sniffer dogs, officers operate in force to protect the UK borders from clandestines, immigrants who attempt to enter the UK illegally.
Dog is trained to search for human scent. So the primary role at the northern ports of France is to search for illegal immigrants who smuggle themselves in lorries and other vehicles in order to get to the UK. And the dog is body detection dog is one of the best technologies that we have to search.
In the past 12 months, officers searched over 1 million freight vehicles and found over 29,000 immigrants attempting to come into the UK. Officer Matt is using sniffer dog Fergus to search a truck bound for Dover. Fergus is starting to show signs that indicate human presence. At Gatwick Airport, a flight has just arrived from the Caribbean. Immigration officers have become suspicious of the reasons given by a lone female passenger for entering the UK. So she is pulled aside for questioning. The woman told immigration she is visiting her fiancé, who she has not seen for 6 months before travelling to France. But they are suspicious, as she only has $60 to fund her entire trip.
And is this all of your luggage?
Yeah, that's fine.
Did you pack it all yourself?
My mum.
Your mum?
Yeah, helped me.
Were you there when she packed it?
I was in the bedroom. I was in bedroom getting ready.
Do you fully understand what's in the suitcases?
Yes, I have my clothes.
Okay. Has anybody in Trinidad given you anything to bring here for them?
No.
And your friend is meeting you here?
Yes, he did.
Yeah, okay. When did you meet him?
I met him last year.
Okay.
He asked me if I would like to come visit, so...
When did you get the ticket?
I got the ticket, I think, sometime last week.
Why did you only get the ticket last week?
Oh, because he sent me a cash for me.
Oh, he's paid for the trip for you?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
The woman seems a little unsure, but is cooperating. Officer Kevin and his colleagues must check her bags to ensure there's nothing illegal concealed inside.
Okay.
I'm just going to take a sample of the bag, all right? I'll put it in the machine over there,
yeah.
And it just gives an indication of whether you've come into any contact with any controlled drugs like cocaine.
Okay.
All right?
The woman has all the signs of being a drug courier. Hardly any cash, suspect travel plans, and she's arrived from the Caribbean. Sure enough, the swab test is positive. Another flight has just landed from the Caribbean, this time from the island of St Kitts. UK Border Agency officers have been alerted to a female passenger who has previous convictions for smuggling drugs.
Hello there. Hi, are you travelling with anybody else now?
No.
All right, fine.
As she passes through the customs channel, Officer Donna intercepts the passenger to ask her a few questions.
Whereabouts have you come from now?
I've just come from Gatwick.
Gatwick.
Kids.
Oh, right, okay. And how long have you been away for?
A month. It should have been 3 weeks, but I stayed on.
Oh, right, okay. So you're on your way back now to Manchester? Is that where you live?
Yeah.
Okay, and have you got family or friends in St Kitts?
Yes. But I went on holiday, I think it was to them.
Oh, right.
Hotel.
Oh, right, okay, so you haven't stayed with your friends, actually, then?
No.
All right.
But to pay, it's just cost me nearly £2,000 for a month.
Ouch. Yeah, it's not cheap, is it?
The woman is acting calm and friendly, but there's something about her story which doesn't sound quite right.
And which hotel did you stay at?
Sugar Bay.
Sugar Bay. Have you paid for the trip yourself?
Well, my husband did.
Your husband? You left him at home?
Yeah. It's my second time. I've just come back home for 3 weeks. Me and Ayla, that darling, to be tested.
The second time for what, sorry?
In this year.
Oh, what, that you've been out?
Yeah.
Oh, is it?
Yeah. And then we're going on a cruise at Christmas.
Have you won the lottery?
Yes. Oh, the arm and that. I've never been.
Oh, right, okay.
Accident.
A former drug trafficker who's taken 2 recent trips to the Caribbean and is about to go on an expensive cruise. Sounds very dodgy, and Officer Donna is going to take it to the next level. Back in Calais, Officer Matt is using sniffer dog Fergus to search a truck bound for Dover. This behaviour by Fergus is a good indicator that someone may be inside.
More of a disturbance indication, which means either the driver or one of our staff has checked the vehicle and there's some form of human scent still around there.
Matt has a quick scan of the semi himself.
You chuck him up to us, Butch. Weights. Should we go find?
Fergus is brought in to properly search the contents of the truck. This time there are no clandestines.
Basically, it could be where the vehicle was loaded. There's some human scent in there, or the French security have checked the vehicle and got in to have a look. I mean, human scent can kind of linger for a few hours as opposed to a few minutes, so it could be that there was some residual scent in there still. It wasn't an overly strong indication, but it was worth a look.
On the other side of the customs area, Officer Alex is searching another semi with sniffer dog Wax.
Wait, steady.
Wax's wagging tail means only one thing. Whoever it is hiding above the semi's wheels, their free ride into the UK has just come to an end. At Gatwick Airport, a swab test has registered positive for the presence of cocaine. Further questioning makes Officer Kevin even more suspicious about why the woman has flown to the UK.
So what will you do while you're here, do you know?
Just looking, seeing the place.
Sightseeing?
Yeah.
Is there anything you particularly want to see?
The Eiffel Tower.
The Eiffel Tower. What about in the UK?
Not in the UK, it's in France actually.
Yeah, you don't want to do any sightseeing here?
Yeah, because I never really, as I said, I never traveled before.
Yeah.
So it will be like, wow to me.
But Officer Kevin finds something else that sparks his interest. What's that?
Oh, that's what my son made for him.
Made for your fiancé?
Yeah.
Right.
Just, if you want me to open it.
Yeah, can you?
Oh, it's tickets, so all household.
Sorry, how old's your son?
7 years old.
7. This is the first time you've been away from him?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's another good indicator that she could be a drug courier. Drug dealers often force or blackmail young mums to travel alone, leaving their kids at home. Officer Kevin suspects she could be carrying drugs internally. What we've got is a body scanner. Okay.
Yeah, sure.
You don't mind going through that?
I don't mind at all.
No. If we do that, and hopefully you'll be able to get on your holiday. With her consent, Kevin gets authorisation from his superior for the scan to go ahead. Right. Run it past her and she's quite happy to do it. Okay. Just to make sure. Yeah, so she's going to do it as a voluntary. Yeah. It won't be long before officers know for sure if the woman's a drug courier. And if her stay in the UK will be a lot longer than she bargained for.
The woman with a history of drug trafficking is playing things very cool. But Officer Donna isn't having a bar
Okay,
of
if
it.
you hang fire for me, stay there, and I should be back in 2 minutes. I'm just going to do a quick check on your passport, all right? All right. And she says she paid like £2,000 for that. The second time she's been out this year, and husband has paid for it. She's got friends out there who live there, but she hasn't stayed with them. She's stayed in a hotel. So, I mean, I would suggest, obviously, bearing in mind what we know, would it be all right to give her a quick body search, basically?
Donna breaks the news to the passenger.
Right, very quick question for you. Basically, where you've come in from today, St Kitts, obviously Caribbean, we do have a problem with people bring drugs in from the Caribbean and the such. You've heard of that, obviously. That's what I intend to do, is just to give you a quick body search. You can appeal to either a senior officer or to a magistrate.
I used to do all that crap on straight, that's fine. I've got a different life now, so...
Right, OK, so you've got no problems at all with that. All right, hang fire 2 seconds. You okay to assist? Yeah, all right.
With the woman's previous convictions for drug offences, if she is carrying any drugs, no matter how small, she'll be facing a prison sentence. Back in Calais, Officer Alex and sniffer dog Wax have found something of interest within the wheel arches of a truck bound for the UK. Wax indicates to Alex to investigate further.
Yeah, we've got at least one clandestine on top of the pannier. So you've got a box that holds pallets, wooden pallets for loading, and there's a gap in between the top of the metal box that holds the pallets and the actual trailer itself. So they're just laying on top of the pannier. Good boy.
Alex is delighted with Wax's find. The truck driver is not so happy.
Okay, driver, you stay there.
The driver and his company face fines of up to $4,000 for each illegal stowaway the authorities find.
Come on, come. Come on. 1, 2, 3. Just count 4 pairs of shoes here.
Right, we've called for assistance from the office, and we'll have someone come down to help us get them off the vehicle, and we'll keep them contained until the French police come down.
With 4 clandestines, that'll be a $16,000 fine, making this trip across the Channel very expensive indeed. In Gatwick, Officer Donna has been authorised to conduct a body search on this passenger who has previous convictions for drug smuggling.
Stuff. Right, so like I said, what I'd like to do is just give you a quick body search. All right? So when you say you used to be into all
I got in
that...
trouble a long time ago for drugs.
Oh, right, OK.
I was a drug addict, etc.
OK.
I mean, it's pointless me hiding the fact, you know.
No, it's fair play. I applaud your honesty. That's right, yeah.
And this is now, so there's no way...
You've moved on from all that.
Yeah.
Excellent. Good stuff.
With the woman's prior history, Donna must rule out every eventuality with the body search.
So if I could just ask you to stand up for me then.
I've got that knee.
That's right. If you just raise your arms like this for me, just raise yourself at the front. That's fine. Thank you very much.
With no drugs found during the body search, Donna seems happy with the woman's story.
Yeah, she's fully admitted her past life, so she's turned her life around.
But there is still one more test she wants to do.
I'm going to give the shoes a quick swab.
If the woman has swallowed any drugs, traces can often be found from sweat in the shoes.
Good to go, I think. Yeah, that's fully flat, so... Right, I'll give the lady her shoes back and we'll...
With no traces of drugs found, the woman was released without charge and caught her connecting flight to Manchester.
That's brilliant. Thanks very much for your time.
The UK Border Agency does not just prevent passengers from bringing illegal drugs into the country. At Gatwick, thousands of tonnes of freight pass through the airport every year, and officers work in tandem with highly trained sniffer dogs to check packages for illegal substances. Officer Lorna and sniffer dog Diesel have arrived at the cargo hangar to assess a small part of today's consignment.
We're just over at the freight sheds and we're going to cover the freight that's just come off of the Virgin Bridgetown flight. So we'll see what he does. These. looking for any interest from the dog really, and then the one of the anti-smugglers will have a look and see if there's any cocaine or heroin.
As one of the airport's longest-serving dogs, Diesel has sniffed out dozens of Class A drug seizures over the years, making him one of the officer's most valuable assets. And it doesn't take long for him to start showing some interest around one of the packages. The box contains a vacuum cleaner, so officers open it up to take a closer look. And Diesel just can't keep away from it. With a suspected drug concealment, the vacuum cleaner is dismantled to see what's inside.
Well, basically what we've got is a Hoover here from South America. What they're trying to do is get into the engine compartment where they think there might be a concealment, and as they're trying to unscrew it, it looks like two of the screws have had glue put on them, so it makes it harder to get inside. As you see, he's just getting into it now. He's just dismantling the whole thing, so we'll just see what he can find.
The vacuum cleaner has been well sealed to give the appearance that it's brand new. But with perseverance, officers managed to open the engine compartment to see what's inside. Officers are about to find out if the woman who left her 7-year-old son back in the Caribbean and who had a positive hit for cocaine is carrying drugs internally.
Very slowly. You ready to go now?
Yeah.
That's great.
The results will be almost immediate. She may not be carrying anything internally, but the X-ray has shown up what could be a hidden package.
We're happy that she doesn't have anything inside her, which is the main reason for using the body scan. But one of the officers thinks there's a possibility that she might have a package inside her bra, which has been known in the past. The definitive thing is to actually do a search, which wasn't done before this body scan. So we'll do that, and then we'll find out exactly if there is anything there or if there isn't.
But as the officers search the woman, they find the cause of the irregularity on the scan.
You need to get a new bra, don't you?
Yeah.
The abnormality on the scan is put down to the woman wearing an old worn-out bra.
Thank you very much again, once again.
Welcome.
But it's not over yet for this first-time traveller. Customs are happy she's not carrying drugs. It's now up to immigration to decide if they'll let her into the country. In Gatwick's cargo hangar, sniffer dog Diesel has indicated on a suspect vacuum cleaner. Officers pull it apart to see what's inside.
Appears to me, underneath here, some packages. Oh yeah, black taped packages, which
basically they've opened up the unit now, and you can just see there's packages here and here. So what they're going to do is get the dog over, have another look at it and see if the dog indicates.
And almost instantly, Diesel makes another of his trademark indications on the packages inside the vacuum cleaner.
As you saw, as the dog got close to the scent, it gave a freeze stare indication. Basically, it just freezes at the scent and won't move until the handler throws in a tennis ball, and basically that was a perfect indication. And as you see, the packages coming out, they're only small and they look properly tight wrapped. That's why he had to get his nose right on the source of the scent.
Well, we've had a couple of concealments similar to this before. The quantity here is about 200 grams of cocaine. We've also been notified there have been other seizures in other areas, other countries of a similar type. So obviously we're looking out for this sort of thing whenever these flights come in. All right, what we'll do when we find things like this, we'll do what we call a field test. So I'm going to put some of the powder onto this filter paper, just put this liquid onto it. If it's cocaine, it will just flash up like a very turquoise aquamarine blue. Usually takes less than half a second to a second to do that. You see, it's going this turquoise colour straight away. That basically indicates the presence of cocaine on the powder.
It's another impressive seizure by Diesel. Thanks to his sensitive nose, cocaine worth more than $50,000 will be taken off the streets.
I was really pleased with Diesel there. He put his nose straight on the concealment and he gave a fantastic indication. So he was rewarded with that, with his tennis ball, and yeah, he's a happy dog, so really pleased.
Back in Calais, Officer Alex and sniffer dog Wax have found human cargo within the wheel arches of a semi-trailer bound for the UK. One by one, the clandestines climb out from the cramped space underneath the truck.
Got another one to come, yeah? Another one, at least another one to come, yeah?
5 people in total have been found hiding underneath the truck. It's a significant find, but for Wax, it's all a big game.
Dog's happy. He's got his tennis ball, which is what he does it for.
The clandestines are lined up as they wait for the French authorities to come and process them. For some of them, this was their 3rd attempt at getting into the UK.
The French police have taken them away to the station in the port here. They will process them, they'll fingerprint them, and then they'll possibly interview them to ascertain whether they can be removed from France back to their country of origin.
The stowaways were sent back to Romania. It may be only a matter of weeks before they make another attempt to get into the UK. And given that the woman from Trinidad had a son back in the Caribbean, immigration officials decided she was unlikely